Hey there. How's it going? I'm actually not gonna pretend that you weren't there the whole time. I am in the middle of a huge change and I have been busy for the past month, if not a little bit longer. And I'm just trying to kind of catch up with all the stuff that I'm trying to do. Um, and I am so sorry I'm late. This is the last week of June and all the movies that I saw in it. And yeah, we'll kind of talk more about that. The first movie that I saw in the last week of June was Predator, Killer of Killers. I had already known about this movie and had already seen it coming, I guess, but just had to put the fire in my ass to really watch this. And I I went into this kind of not caring what was gonna happen in this movie, and I I liked it more than I think I would have liked it. I mean, don't get me wrong, it is so cool. It is very cool. If you're a fan of the Predator franchise or Love, Death, and Robots, maybe even Arcane, this is very fun to watch. Um, for the first 20 or so minutes, I thought, gosh, this thing is incredibly gory, incredibly bloody. Uh, don't you think you need to turn it down a little? But I remember being a kid and watching the original Predator, and there was a man hung upside down that was skinned. Um, and somehow the dog tags were still in there. But oh my god, yeah, I remember seeing that and thinking or remembering seeing that as a kid and thinking, you know what, I may be thinking a little too harshly about this. So this movie splits up in three sections, four, I guess. The shield, the bullet, and the sword. Sword. And then it ends with the final confrontation there. And the shield is an amazing way to start off the movie. The sword is probably the best one in the anthology little series there, and the bullet is the weakest one out of the three, and its only point is to drive the story further, and it's pretty okay. The end confrontation, I spit on the mic. The end confrontation is super fun. It's very fun. But yeah. The next movie that I saw was Dark Crystal. I saw this with Kimbo. Hi, Kimbo. I think after having a really long day, I was just super tired and just exhausted from the day. And I was actually getting ready to go to sleep when Kimbo came in and was like, "Do you want to watch The Dark Crystal?" And I was thinking, yeah, I guess I mean, I'm tired, but yeah, I'll watch it. And I didn't really want to think too much about it. I know it's has a lot of puppet work, and it's fantastical in that sense. And I just kept thinking, I don't know if I actually want to watch this. Um, Boy, was I wrong. This movie's is very unique. I've never seen a movie um, as similar as this, and yeah, I think the puppeteer work is just amazing, 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 amazing. There was this. I mean, of course, there are scenes where puppet isn't a puppet; it's a costume and it's somebody with a mask performing. But there was just one scene in the very beginning when the wind was blowing and it was blowing into the kind of home where this all takes place, and it there was a gust that hit the main character, and this is a puppet. The puppet had covered themselves and kept running, and I it instantly clicked on me. I am not watching some baby ass production shit. This is some of the most amazing puppet work I've ever seen. And the I don't necessarily. The story was fine, and I liked it. And it's limited to the puppets' emotions and how they act, but the world design, the world building, it is constantly reminding you that you are truly in a different place other than Earth, and what other expectations you subconsciously have for Earth is flipped on its head when you're watching the world in this. And oh my god, this is a lot more fun to watch. I am so annoyed with this little character that Kimmel does, or that Kimmel mimics. Oh, yeah, holy shit. Super cool. Super cool. In a very weird way. The next movie that I saw was How to Train Your Dragon. Um, I saw this with my baby, with Nicole, and hey baby. Every time I like get into this like boyfriend thing where I'm like, hey baby, hey Nicole, I get into this like boyfriend mode, and it's like I need a second to like turn it off to act serious and like talk to you. But no. Yeah, let me back up. It is fun. This movie is fun. With it being made almost 10 years ago, there are some like animation things that like don't feel fully fleshed out. But that's just me nitpicking. This movie is an incredible movie, and it's gonna stay an incredible movie. I haven't seen the live action version, but yeah, animation, the original format, is the best way to watch this. Yeah. Oh my god. Let me back up. The sound design in this, like where like the Night Fury like shoots his like fireball, and then like yeah, I love this. Yeah, this is a damn. This is actually a really good movie. Underrated, I think, when it came out, maybe, but I mean, they made 4 of these movies, so can I really call it underrated? But yeah, maybe 5th if you consider the live action. The next movie that I saw was Lion. So I was canceling my Netflix, and I'm just trying to watch all the movies that were in my watch later, and this was one of them. And I really like Rosamund Pike. I think that's who's in this movie. And that little like trailer that Netflix does to kind of entice you to watch it, I kept watching it over and over. And the way like I don't know, the way she was acting with the little child, and dang, I keep forgetting to read the synopsises of these things. Um, this is just a one-off. The search begins. A 5-year-old Indian boy gets lost on the streets of Calcutta, thousands of kilometers from home. He survives many challenges before being adopted by a couple in Australia. 25 years later, he sets out to find his lost family. There's something about like being a little brown boy in a kind of impoverished city that reminds me most of my childhood. Or I guess the little parts that I do remember. I have memory issues, and I remember the streets being dirty but not gross, and I remember like the fluorescent lights, if they were fluorescent, and how they kind of like glowed in the streets. And I remember I felt like I could run. I'm getting caught into it. This movie is really powerful. It's really inspiring. It really kind of like holds your heart and kind of like squeezes it, and kind of like gives you these emotions of like truly wanting to be connected with your people and wanting to find out the origin of yourself, and just the wanting to be accepted by the part of your life, of your love that you had lost. That really kind of hit home for me, and just wanting to belong so much. And yes, this movie is very good, and and it's based on a true story, which even hurts even more. Oh my god. But yeah, this movie was really good. So because this is based on a true story, and then it is about this adopted boy, but it doesn't fully touch into the other side, where there's another brother that was adopted, or who was not related to Lion, and they barely touch on that, and I don't know if they just didn't feel comfortable um, getting into that stuff. The fuck was that about? Um, this movie is really good, and yeah, you know, being a family from immigrants, this is a very good movie to remind you of where you came from, and just what it means to like really connect with your roots and the things that you love. So yeah. All right, we are back. I've been doing this for feel like feel like so like 20 weeks, maybe 28 weeks later. The next movie that I saw was 28 weeks later. Knowing that 28 years later was coming out pretty soon, I needed to watch, or at least get a refresher of the series. 28 weeks, 28 days later has Cillian Murphy. And let's start with the synopsis, I guess. 28 days later, the days are numbered. 28 days after a killer virus was accidentally unleashed from a British research facility, a small group of London survivors are caught in a desperate struggle to protect themselves from the infected. Carried by animals and humans, the virus turns those it infects into homicidal maniacs, and it is absolutely impossible to contain. I remember the reviews that were coming out at the time of its release, and they were saying how bad it looks, and it was shot on a potato. I get it. It doesn't look the best, but the story is almost there. This so I've been debating with a lot of my friends, Justino, Bruno, Ricky. Actually, I had an hour-long conversation with Bruno on the third. Ooh, spoiler! The first one isn't necessarily the best, but it's the one that kicks it off, and it's probably the most memorable in a way. But let's talk a little closer about it. So, oh, this is good. It starts with Cillian Murphy, incredibly naked, in a hospital bed, and it's him walking around the London streets absolutely alone, which is already a feat on its own. And they come across a group of survivors and whatnot, and they kind of survive together. I think the part that I remember the most about this movie is the first group that they meet up, or that Cillian meets up. They're fine. They get attacked by these maniacs, zombies, and one of them is bit, and immediately, without a hesitation, the other kills the bitten. That's the most memorable part in this movie, and it's like, oh my god, this is insane. Um, then we come across the dad, and that whole family, and they're cool. They're cool, I guess. There's a really cool scene with the Mini Cooper jumping over a pile of trash, and all these rats going by. I'll mention that later. You know, there's something just about British productions and how they're like color graded and edited that I don't necessarily really like, and I it was kind of hard for me to get over it the kind of first half of this movie, but by the end of it, it was kind of completely. I didn't notice it. My hair's acting so stupid. Um, but yeah. I mean, it was a really fun movie. I think the end kind of gets like crazy, kind of like jumps ship from like where we started to like where we're at, and it's just kind of all over the place. It's fun, I guess. The next movie that I saw was 28 Weeks Later. I feel like everybody knows the intro to this, where the husband is in a house, they get attacked, and him and his wife get split up, and um, the husband has to make a choice of helping her and dying or leaving her. And the way they kind of like scream at each other, like "Help me!" is just insane. He like closes the door on her, and he's running, and then like she's banging on the window, like "How could you do this to me?" And I think she gets attacked and just taken over. He jumps in a boat and drives away. What a dickhead. Um, this is, I'm sure, a American production because it doesn't have that British color grading nonsense that I think they do. And this movie's a lot more digestible, if that's the right word. It's more on par with like American audiences or like international movies. Like, oh my freaking god! This is more something that everybody can watch and tolerate, as opposed. Dude, I don't even know what the hell I'm talking about. This one doesn't have Cillian Murphy. It doesn't have any of the people from the original movie. And it's completely different from the other movie. What the hell am I talking about? This movie is just, it's different, but it still has the same themes, such as saying it's all fucked. And I noticed that they say that in every single one of the movies, which I think is kind of cool in a way. It kind of loses itself in the middle. I guess for me personally, and it's pretty. And then it picks it back up when you kind of realize that the spoiler alert. That the mom is a carrier, and it kind of like re-sparks the rage virus within that little community that they have there, and yeah, I saw someone's letterbox review for this, and they said something like, yeah, another way to show that America just fucks everything up. Or another way to show the American military just fucks everything up. And I just kind of chuckled at that because that is absolutely true. The American military in this British Isles fuck everything up. They're so dang old dumb. And, more importantly than anything, the dad fucked everything up. Him kind of flaunting his past to his kids, like, I run everything here, and as soon as he loses it, everything breaks apart. And I guess that's cool. I just don't know if I like Weeks Later more than I like Days Later. I think I like Days Later more. This movie is just okay. Jojo, if you're watching this, I did not forget about you. I am trying to find a way to watch that. Alright, now we're here where maybe all of you are watching now. The next movie that I saw was 28 Years Later. With 28 days, weeks, freshly in my mind, I jumped into this, and it is obvious that this is completely different and almost separate from the other previous two. I just don't really know how I feel about this. I so I've been seeing a lot of people really like this movie and a lot of people not like this movie, and I think I don't know. No, it's not. I think I don't like this movie. I get it. There are things to like about this movie, but someone tell me because I cannot fathom those likes. Fuck, dude, where do I begin? So, at the beginning of the movie, when I think they were kind of using a drone shot over the landscapes of the mainlands and whatnot, I can see like the sensor kind of wiggling from the, I think, stabilization, and I could just see like the frame rate, like I can, I can see all the imperfections that a iPhone sensor has, right? And the story is fine. It's whatever it is, but I mean, I'll probably put in like a little bit of like the segment that me and Bruno had talked about. We talked over the phone.
And especially like with how the other movies were like the always the blood splatter. So every time I saw pools of blood, especially with the bagged head, when that guy was hanging inside the house, I'm like, oh yeah, that's 100% gonna fly in the dad's face, and then he's gonna have to kill his dad.
Yeah, that already sounds like a better movie than what I just watched.
Oh, oh no way.
I
But I think one of the bigger things about that movie that always got me like kind of laughing inside is it's always like, it's also another like trope in these stories where it's like it's a coming of age moment and the dad is like he's the right age and everyone's like he's too young, he's the right age, right? And I was thinking like how the fuck would this guy know if he's the right age? He didn't go through this when he was younger. No one has. Like how could he know, right? And during this whole show, like during that whole like beginning part of him like on the run. And I'm like, this wouldn't be a fucking problem if this motherfucker wasn't 12. He'd be faster and stronger. When they were trying to get into the attic, couldn't do a pull up, maybe because he's fucking 12. When he was running in the forest and couldn't like outrun the people, maybe because he's fucking 12. Maybe if you had a grown 16-year-old, that would have gone way better for you.
I think the only thing that I liked about this is maybe the fact that the rage virus had evolved and it kind of added to the world. But like at the same time, like what's the point? Like I think I'm getting actually kind of mad, man. All right, just think about it. Think about it for a second. Let's say we lived in a world where there is a small place in the world that had the most incredibly contagious, most harmful virus in the world. You know what? A homicidal virus is inside quarantine, locked away in a smallish island, and this fucking thing can be carried by animals like birds that migrate. How do you not think about this and not have to destroy it? Like 28 years later, how many fucking meetings and like with the UN, with countries, with people, like how many meetings do you think people have had where they couldn't find a solution to this? I mean, if I was stuck in this country, this like little island, I would want some kind of form of government to bomb me the fuck away. If I am such a hazard, not to myself, not to the community, but the entire fucking country, if not the world, with this virus, please kill me. Like, bomb the fuck out of me. And, okay, let's say they're not killing me, they're not bombing the hell out of me. Why aren't you giving us resources, radios, ammunition? rations. Like how like I'm exhausted with this movie, and I'm exhausted with this rant. I'm exhausted with this video, and I'm exhausted with my coffee. Coffee got cold. Fucking cold now. The next movie that I saw was Driving Miss Daisy. I needed some kind of palate cleanser. I needed just something to get that awful 28 taste out of my mouth. Driving Miss Daisy. The synopsis: the funny, touching, and totally irresistible story of a working relationship that became a 25-year friendship. The story of an old Jewish widow named Daisy Weatherman and her relationship with her black chauffeur Hoke. From a initial mere work relationship grew in 25 years a strong friendship between the two very different characters, in a time when those types of relationships were shunned. I so the reason why I know about this movie is from that Mos Def, Yasin Bey, and Jack Black movie. Please be kind, rewind. And they had done a parody of this scene in this movie, and I needed to watch that movie. That was years ago. Um, I haven't seen that movie since, and watching it now, I love this movie. I love the film. I love the grain. I love the warmth that this in totally encapsulates. I love the warmth and home goodness that this movie has. Dude, that scene, that is the first time that they um, physically interact with each other. I mean, of course, there's like a few pats or anything like that, and maybe acknowledgements. Um, but that scene when Miss Daisy um, is kind of losing it, is in a very vulnerable state, and looks at Hoke in his eyes and says that you're my best friend, and they hold each other's hands and they don't let go. They just hold that scene where you're feeling the change in the relationship and how much they care for each other. This movie is beautiful. This movie is funny, and at times um, conflicting to think. Both of these characters, I guess, especially Miss Daisy, is a very strong, independent, stern woman who, frankly, in the beginning, is kind of a dickhead. And Hoke is incredibly optimistic and so well controlled and so very likable that it's so hard to not like him at all. I absolutely love this. I love the way it's shot. I love the way it's written. I love, dude. I love all this dang old movie. This movie is so nice. You know, actually, let me talk about the last line in this movie. So Hoke goes over to Miss Daisy, and Miss Daisy's son Dan Aykroyd is there, and Miss Daisy's being really quiet, and I think Dan Aykroyd's just kind of talking and whatnot. And Miss Daisy, being the strong and stern woman she is, she's like, "How about you go flirt with the nurses? Get the fuck out of here, you know? Like, get out of here. Leave me alone with Hoke." And Dan Aykroyd says, "She wants you all to herself," and walks away. And I think that's the last line that they say, and it starts off like really close as they kind of like embrace each other, look at each other, and it like slowly backs out and reveals how long their friendship, their relationship has lasted, and the beauty of what a 25-year friendship looks like. Maybe even longer. But I love, 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 loved, loved that so much. And yeah, if you can watch this movie and you're in a need of a feel good movie, please watch this movie. This movie is soup for the soul, and I like it. Cool. The next movie that I saw was Anchorman 2, The Legend Continues. So I saw the first one, I didn't really care too much about it, and then Manny let me borrow the second one. Here's the synopsis of Anchorman 2. Bigger, better, burgundier. With the 70s behind him, San Diego's top-rated newsman Ron Burgundy returns to take New York's first 24-hour news channel by storm. First of all, I like this more than I like the first one, and I don't know if anybody else is experiencing that or has the same opinion, but this one is better than the first one. And actually, I think it is better because I saw the first one. Some of those jokes didn't land, but those same jokes landed in the second one, and there's more to it, and it felt like the upgraded director's cut, Zack Snyder, whatever bullshit, to the first one that just elevated the second one. Um, that dinner scene that was just on the little screen there, it's alright. Like, I don't know if I just like Ron Burgundy's character, the way how he just kind of like handles and just treats. Oh my god. I don't like Ron Burgundy's character, and it's weird because he's the main character. Who I do like is everybody else, especially Steve Carell. I think he might be my favorite character in this. Um, they did a joke from the first movie into the second one, and it just worked so much better. I like that a lot. The next movie that I saw was Piece by Piece. Turn up the volume on your imagination. A vibrant journey through the life of cultural icon Pharrell Williams told through the lens of Lego animation. I kept seeing this person's review on this, and they said, shaking my fist at the sky screaming, who is this movie for? And that's, no, it has some validity to that. When you think about Legos or Lego animation, I mean, I think, at least for me personally, I think about that, like, city Lego. It's like, hey,
Hey! A man is being fucked over by his local government in Lego City. Build the killdozer, destroy the town hall, get your revenge. The new Lego City killdozer.
stuff like that, or even like the Lego movie, anything like that. And with with that being said, I'm not saying Legos are for kids, but I'm saying that the animation is geared to kids, because I mean that is the market area, that's the demographic for Legos. It's a kids thing. I mean, I'm saying this with like quotations, which is a bit jarring to see this story told by Pharrell Williams through Legos, and it's not even necessarily like a story how you would recognize it. It's not even necessarily a documentary about Pharrell Williams. It's more of an interview with Pharrell Williams about his life, his career, and struggles, and just what makes Pharrell Williams. Because this isn't a documentary, nor is it a narrative biopic. This is truly an interview and conversation that you can watch on YouTube. You know what? Think of that Kendrick Lamar interview with Rick Rubin on how they discuss topics of art and the mastery of lyricism, beats making, and samples, it's almost in kind of that same realm. That's a little bit more like easily or digestible to see. With that being said, that person's review has validity to it. It's kind of confusing to watch this and not kind of think of who is this movie intended for, um, because it's visually enticing to look at. I like Legos. I like the Lego animation style, but for it to be used just to have a conversation between you and Pharrell Williams and the interviewer, it feels not necessarily like a waste of Lego animation, but I don't think the Lego animation suits what the story is being told. Caveat, and for me to be a hypocrite, I actually enjoyed this movie. This movie was really fun to watch in that way. I'm a huge fan of Kendrick Lamar and Kendrick Lamar. I'm a huge fan of Kendrick Lamar and Daft Punk. So for it to for me to see Kendrick Lamar as a Lego or even Daft Punk as Lego was enough for me. I liked it, and it was probably the hype to my movie, or to this movie. I will say, actually, let me go back. So there is a specific part. So as a person who has synesthesia, this kind of closely resembled on how I interpret or visualize music. This was probably maybe one of my favorite scenes in the whole movie, as it has that like amazing feeling. Like the way I have synesthesia, it like, you see how there's like a kind of opacity to the music, to colors. That is really truly how I experience the music, and some singing. But this was probably like my favorite part of the movie, and God, I love that so much. The next movie that I saw was Beautiful. I could not find a full high quality trailer to this movie, so I saw it on Tubi. Thank you, Tubi. Determined to win the Miss American Miss pageant, Mona is ready to sacrifice anything and everything to guarantee herself the crown, including her own daughter. She manages to persuade her best bud to raise the kid as her own. Miss Am can be a mom. Okay, that was weird. But just when this beauty queen wannabe thinks her prize is in sight, she's surprised by a come from behind competitor, Love. So there's a few things that you need to know. Mona wanted to be Miss America since she was a little kid. She gets pregnant and has the baby, but her best friend, who's been by her side since I think like elementary school, decides to take in that daughter as her own, just so that she can continue running in all the pageants that she's in. Because I guess you can't have children when you're in pageantry. That little girl is the same girl from Polly. Hey! And that one Pepsi commercial where the little girl orders Coke, but the restaurant guy gives her Pepsi, and she like takes a little sip.
Here you go, cupcake.
Thank you.
And she turns into the most evil thing, the grandfather
I want you to listen
of
very
Italian
carefully
mob bosses,
to what I'm going to tell
and
you.
orders that
We
this
both
man
know I have
gives
ordered
her
a
a Coke.
Pepsi Cola.
A
And
Coke.
now you've insulted me and my entire
That's the same
family
little
by
girl.
offering me this.
She's look at her, she's so
Evidence.
cute.
For being a civilized person, I like to give you a chance to make
Who the heck?
amends. Capiche?
Don't you recognize her? She's so cute, dude. This movie is better than you think it is. I don't know what the ratings are in this movie, but for people to not recognize or know this movie, kind of insulting, because this movie is pretty good. And you know what? Especially the ending. The ending, there was like a speech about motherhood and what it means to be a mom, and the everyday struggles of what it takes to be a mom or even a parent. It's definitely moms, and it's a damn good movie, and it's super cute, and yeah, yeah. You know, there's a question little girl asks that just absolutely breaks your heart inside. Damn, I'm also in on the lie. What the hell? And yeah, it is pretty damn good. I like this movie a lot. Yeah, I mean, I just like feel good movies. Well, that is all of the movies that I saw in June. I realized in the previous video I forgot to list all the other movies that I had in there. Once again, if you have a movie to recommend or want me to talk more in depth on any of these movies, please let me know, and I will be uploading the conversation that I had with Bruno about 28 years later. Don't forget Elvis. My name is Elvis. You're watching Joan of Our House. I'll see you next week. Thank you so much. Thank you for being patient with me, and yeah, see you guys next week. Bye.
Your mama. That's right. And y'all better stick 'em up.
Throw that gun sideways. Damn, Sonny.
Run me your money. Pew 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 pew. Pew 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 pew.